So, Jeff, I think it was September 13th, right? The big hearing.
Yeah, the 9th, yeah.
The 9th. Okay, so sorry. So, September 9th, the big hearing in Congress. What has been happening since then?
Oh, wow. A lot. So,
So good to see you and meet you finally. I've been watching you forever.
Right, thank you. Emocionei, né? Oh.
you got to stop making me cry.
When I remember that guy, did he really cry?
I'll see you later. So yeah, after the biggest impact for me on a personal level, I guess technically, like functionally, a lot of Air Force veterans reached out to me privately, and they were either there at Vandenberg or they had an encounter at a different base. So we got a ton of new information about the incursions at Vandenberg and a bunch of other cases. Information on that. So I'm working with some new, they're not whistleblowers, but witnesses. So a lot of that, and then I've been working with James. Recently went down to Brazil with him. He invited me down, him and Alini, and I basically got to meet all the witnesses, and I got to spend time with them. I got to meet their families and their grandchildren and really just get to know these people. And I'm still kind of in the ontological shock from that trip, because it made it very real. Because I haven't been thinking about the biologics. I haven't been thinking about the pilots. I've been concentrating on other things, and then to meet everyone and then have it like hit you in a real way has been really powerful. So.
Does that make you feel validated with being on this project?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. I think we validate each other, when we get together. So yeah, absolutely.
And how did you get connected with James? Did he reach out to you after the hearing?
No, we've known each other. We actually met at Seoul in 2023. I think that was 2023. And we met there and hit it off, and we've been, good friends ever since. So yeah, he's been talking about this for a long time in this event, well over a year, and now it's happening. So.
Now, being a whistleblower, have you, since the hearing, received any new threats or any members, or on the opposite side, any members of Congress coming to you asking for more information or to hear more of your story?
No, not really from Congress. They've been kind of silent. And things kind of settled down after. No more like threats, nothing obvious. So I don't really know how to interpret that. But yeah, nothing has really happened since the hearing, to me anyway.
Does that surprise you that you put your neck out there?
Yeah.
You have a family and a career, and you go and do this massive thing on Capitol Hill, and then it's kind of crickets, right? Does that surprise you?
The news cycle, we had Charlie Kirk was assassinated the day after, I believe it was. So there's a lot going on. But I don't know. I would like to have more members of Congress reach out to me and my friends and maybe sit down and talk with us and find out, get more details. Because you can only cover so much in a hearing. You can only talk about what you're asked, or what you've prepared. So yeah, I'd really like to engage more with Congress.
Yeah, I would think so as well, that there would be an interest. And as a news producer, I can tell you that news cycle doesn't stop.
Yeah.
There's always going to be another big story or something else coming up. I know tensions are high all around the world right now. So when we're looking at disclosure, in your mind, would the time be now?
Yeah, the time's now.
And why do you think the government does not want to engage in disclosure?
That's a complicated question, right? There's a lot there. Because of the cover-up, because of how they've covered things up, because of the misappropriation of funds, and all this whole story we've been told, like why and how the phenomenon has been covered up. But I think if it boils down to reality is classified. it really is classified. Nature, there's parts of nature that we're not allowed to know about. Like we're not alone, you know. Regardless of what the phenomenon is, there's something here, right? And that's what they're keeping hidden. And then why? Why are we not allowed to know the truth?
I like that reality is classified. So with the Whistleblower Protections Act, do you think that that has any chance of ever becoming a reality?
I think so, yeah. But we definitely need a lot of allies in Congress to make that happen. It can't be just a handful of people taking on all this work, like Representative Luna and Burchett and Burleson and the others. We've really got to make an impact. We've got to get the people motivated and engaged. You have to like ignite their curiosity. And if we can do that for the people, they'll put pressure on the media, they'll put pressure on the government and the politicians. So that's the way forward. You know, I think disclosure is going to come through the art world, through artists, through movie makers and painters and people that can tap into like reality and what we're living through and what we're feeling. And if we can do that, if we could get eyes and attention and interest generated, then things will move in Washington.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree. I think that the feedback and the buzz around age of disclosure was a good example of that. So hoping that more can come from that.
Absolutely, yeah. Age of disclosure has had a huge impact. You know, I've had people reach out to me that didn't know I was involved in any of this. They didn't know anything about UFOs, and you know, they're texting me like, "What is going on? Is that real?" And I'm like, "It's real. Yeah, it's a documentary." You know, and then all these other veterans calling me like, "Oh, dude, is this real?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You know, that's why we're talking about it under oath.
One of my best friend's moms responded to me on Instagram and was like, I saw the Phoenix Lights. I'm a witness to the Phoenix Lights. I'm like, I've known you for 30 plus years, not to give my age away, but like this is the first time you're telling me about this.
And that's the beauty, right? People are feeling safe now to even talk about it.
Yeah.
That's where we need to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you most looking forward to for the hearing tomorrow, the testimony?
I'm just so grateful and excited to see them get an opportunity to share their voice and their story. So James is giving them a voice, and that's it.
Awesome. I'm so thankful to finally meet you.
Yeah, I'm so glad we
My
finally
social
met.
media
Yeah,
friend.
you're right. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.